The football video game landscape is one of the narrowest niches in the gaming industry. Outside of EA Sports' Madden NFL and college football series, there haven't been many options in this space. There have been a few games over the last few years that have tried to change that. Enter Maximum Football. Originally announced in 2022, this game seeks to bring the free-to-play model to the football video game scene. I originally played this game earlier this year after the game entered early access. Now, the full release is here on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Steam. Is this game ready for a widespread release, or did it need some more time in the oven? Let's find out as we take a look at Maximum Football.
Sports Gamers Online is the #1 source for the sports gamer.
Throwing the ball is the most enjoyable part of playing Maximum Football. The game makes you feel like any throw you make could go for 6 points. This is in part due to wide receivers being somewhat overpowered, especially in one-on-one situations. Most of the time, if I saw a guy deep with just one defender on him, I immediately threw it up, because more likely than not, my guy would come down with it. If you ever played Madden NFL 16 that had Odell Beckham Jr. on the cover, you probably remember how OP aggressive catches were in that game, and it feels just as powerful in Maximum Football. Pass blocking in Maximum Football is also very impressive. I very rarely saw offensive linemen miss their assignments on a passing play. A line regularly formed a complete pocket, which encouraged me to step up and make my throws just like a real quarterback. Personally, one factor that decides whether or not I enjoy a football game is how scrambling with quarterbacks feels. I'm happy to say that in Maximum Football, scrambling is incredibly fun and effective. Whether you're trying to convert a critical third down or just extending the play and buying time for someone to get open, moving around with a mobile QB feels smooth and responsive. While the passing game is very enjoyable, running the ball still needs some work. I said in my impressions video that the running backs took about a second to actually take off after they were handed the ball. That issue seems to be fixed here in the full release. However, run blocking is awful the majority of the time. Most of the time, linemen will just latch onto the closest defensive lineman. This leads to giant holes for linebackers to come in and stuff you in the backfield. This is especially noticeable when running out of the shotgun. If you call a run in shotgun formation, you might as well plan on losing 2 to 3 yards of that play. On the other side of the ball, defensive backs get absolutely abused in this game. Like I said earlier, one-on-one matchups greatly favor the receiver in Maximum Football. However, there are often times when I have 2 or 3 defenders near a receiver, and somehow the receiver will still come down with it. This is incredibly frustrating because I made a good call defensively, the quarterback threw a bad pass, and yet the offense is being rewarded for it. On the rare occasion my defender did make a play and get an interception, returning the ball was nearly impossible. After the interception, my player seemed to be running in the mud for a few seconds before he was able to actually start moving. This is similar to the issue I had with running backs during early access, so hopefully it can get fixed the way that issue was. Finally, there were issues where AI defenders would randomly just stop running. I saw multiple instances where my AI defensive player had a clear line to the ball carrier, but before he reached him, he would just stop in his tracks and watch the ball carrier go right past him. I'm not sure if the CPU was expecting me to click on and take control or what, but this issue definitely needs to be fixed. Speaking of AI issues, I also noticed some general problems with the AI and its strategy in this game. First, the CPU has horrible clock management at the end of the first half. After the 2-minute warning, they will regularly continue to run the ball and let the clock run instead of trying to conserve time and get points before halftime. They will also allow the clock to completely run out without using their remaining timeouts. Clock management is also an issue at the end of the game. The CPU seems to not be aware of how to run out the clock. I never saw the computer kneel the ball to take the win when they easily could have. Instead, they continue to run the ball, and even sometimes throw the ball, leading to incompletions that stop the clock and allow me chances to get back into the game. Keep in mind, these passes happened when I was trailing and had no way of stopping the clock, and the CPU didn't need a first down to be able to run out the clock. It took me out of the immersion in those late game moments. Dynasty Mode is the main selling point for Maximum Football. The game advertises the ability to build your ultimate football universe, and that's exactly what Dynasty provides. When you start a Dynasty, you can set it up almost however you want. This includes customizing the number of teams in your league, changing how many teams make the playoffs, rearranging conferences, and much more. These options are only changeable when starting a dynasty though, so if you want to change them later, you'll have to start a whole new save file. You then move on to selecting your team. You can choose one of the many pre-generated teams in the game, or import a team that you created yourself. This is followed by picking your coach and your stadium. Dynasty Mode gives you the chance to build your school from the ground up. You can upgrade your coach's skills, which allows him to recruit and develop players better. Team facilities can also be upgraded, which give similar effects. You can set ticket and merchandise prices, upgrade your stadium, and keep track of every season's history through some pretty impressive record-keeping features. Recruiting is also very well done in Maximum Football. Each week you're given some points based on your school's prestige to spend on recruiting. You can use these to either scout players or call, text, or email them. When you contact a player, you can make a pitch to them based on a list of topics. It's very similar to recruiting from games around the NCAA Football 10 range. If you played any of those back then, you probably have seen this system before. Personally, I really liked this system back then, and it seems to still really work well here in this game. The only issue I have with Dynasty Mode is that the ticket system remains in place following the full release. I could kind of look the other way with it while the game was in early access and still being developed. However, now that the game is fully released and being advertised as a free-to-play game, I can see no reason for this system remaining in the game. Here's how the ticket system works. When you first log into Maximum Football, you're given 2 tickets. When you start your first Dynasty save file, you have to spend one of these tickets. You can then play through the first season of your Dynasty. However, to progress to the next season, and each subsequent season after that, you will have to spend another ticket. This becomes a problem, especially if you want to do multiple Dynasty saves with different settings that can only be changed after creating the save file. There are a few ways to grind for more of these tickets. 2 can be earned from daily login rewards on days 14 and 28. There are also 3 tickets in the free season pass and 3 in the premium season pass. But if you don't feel like grinding all of these options for more tickets, you'll have to buy the Dynasty Pass for $19.99 to get unlimited access to Dynasty Mode. I was actually confused when I logged in to review the game that I didn't have any tickets. Then I remembered I was on the same account I had used during early access, so I had already spent my 2 free tickets playing back then. This forced me to use the code Maximum Entertainment sent us for the Legend Edition of the game, which usually retails for $49.99 and includes the Dynasty Pass as well as some cosmetics and premium currency. This system is one of the more bizarre choices I've seen from a free-to-play game. I understand that this is a small studio that needs to make money on the game somehow, but there is a shop full of customization options for sale for premium currency. There's also a premium season pass being sold in this game. If you're going to make people also pay to play the best part of your game, then just make it a paid game. Maximum Football is trying to have its cake and eat it too by advertising itself as free to play, while making you pay to play Dynasty Mode beyond 2 total seasons. It makes the game in its current state feel more like a demo rather than a full release. I believe this system is likely to turn players away once their 2 free tickets are spent. Max Pro League is the other game mode in Maximum Football. This is an Ultimate Team style card collecting mode. You open packs to get cards with players, use the cards you don't want to upgrade the cards you do want, and compete online against other players. You can earn packs from the daily login rewards, the free and premium season passes, or buy them for in-game currency and premium currency. Once you've made your team, you can either take it online to play against other players, or play against a random CPU team on 4-minute quarters. Hopefully more options are eventually added to this mode for things to do with your team, because I don't think this is enough content at launch to keep players grinding Max Pro League for very long. Presentation in Maximum Football is pretty impressive. The intro before a game looks good. My favorite part was the players running out onto the field with all the lights and pyrotechnics going off behind them. It looked really amazing. Maximum Football also shows the pre-game coin toss, which is actually a little weird since you don't get to participate in the coin toss. The scene of the referee flipping the coin is shown, but nowhere are you able to choose heads or tails or choose to kick or receive if you win. I looked all around in the settings to see if I could set my coin toss options, but I wasn't able to find them anywhere. The customization options within Maximum Football are very plentiful. You can create your unique university from scratch. The process is straightforward, so it doesn't feel like a slog to get through to create the school of your dreams. You can use one of the many available logos or download one that people have uploaded. However, you aren't able to search through the uploaded logos, so if you want to find a specific one, you'll just have to scroll through every page and hope you end up finding it. Performance-wise, this game ran very well on my PlayStation 5. I didn't experience any crashes or major frame drops. I did experience a couple of bugs that I wanted to mention, though. There was one time when I pressed the button to throw the ball to my receiver, and for some reason, the ball just stuck to my quarterback's hand. He did his entire throwing motion and then stood there for a second before he realized he still had the ball. This only happened once though, so hopefully it isn't a regular problem. The other bug that happened a few times was when the AI would do a halfback toss play. After the running back got the ball, he would turn around and run the other way for a step or two, then just stand there for a second, before continuing to run the original direction of the play. There's something wrong with pitch plays for the AI that definitely needs to be addressed. Maximum Football is a game loaded with potential. The customization options and the ability to create your unique football league exactly how you want are very appealing to hardcore football fans. Also, being free to play makes it stand out from just about every other football game on the market. However, there are a lot of things in the game's current state that makes it hard to stick with after the first few hours. The gameplay still has several issues that need to be ironed out. Max Pro League does not have nearly enough content to keep players coming back, and also Dynasty Mode, which is by far the best part of the game, remains behind a $20 paywall for those who don't want to grind other modes. With all of these issues, it's hard to see myself continuing to play Maximum Football until these issues are addressed. If you're interested in trying it out for a few hours, I definitely recommend downloading the game and seeing what you think for yourself. But if you're looking for a game you can sink a ton of time and energy into, then I think you're probably better off looking somewhere else. Well, that's going to do it for this video, everyone. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave it a like and let us know down in the comments, have you tried out Maximum Football yet? And if so, what are your thoughts on it? We love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Also, if you enjoy our football content, maybe check out our dedicated football channel called SGO Gridiron. We're halfway to hitting our goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so we would love it if you guys could go check that out and support over there. And always, for all your sports gaming news and updates, make sure to stay tuned to Sports Gamers Online. I'm Brandon Satterwhite with SGO. Thank you for watching.
Looking to hold with 4 on the defensive line. Looking. The quarterback throws the ball. And that's it. Turnover. Fumble. Touchdown. With the touchdown. Amazing pass. Wow.